Assalamualaikum dear students, hope you are fine. Dear students, as you know, we are reading a lesson titled Lost Spring, written by Ani Chung. Dear students, in today's class we will be discussing from para 2nd, page 18 of the text Flamingo. Now let us start. Para 2nd, page 18. Savita, a young girl in a drab pink dress, sits along sits alongside an elderly woman soldering pieces of glass as her hands move mechanically like the tongues of a machine. I wonder if she knows the sanctity of the bangles she helps make. It symbolizes an Indian woman's suhag, auspicious in marriage. Here are some words in this para. Drab means faded, colorless. Soldering means joining. Soldering means joining. Another word is tongues, means an instrument with two movable arms joined at one end. And another word is sanctity. Sanctity means the state of being sacred or holy. And auspicious. Auspicious means successful, or we can say good omen. Dear students, in this para, writer says that there was a young girl by the name of Savita. There was a young girl by the name of Savita. She wore a faded pink colored dress. She wore a faded pink colored dress. She was sitting with an elderly woman and they were joining pieces of glass to make bangles. Her hands moved like a machine, just like the tanks of a machine. Her hands moved like a machine, just like the tongues of a machine. The writer wondered if Savita knew that bangles were sacred. They were a good omen, for they were a good omen. That means they were auspicious for a woman's wifehood. Right? Now again text. It will draw on her. It will draw on her suddenly one day when her head is draped with a red veil. It will draw. It will dawn on her suddenly. It will dawn on her suddenly one day when her head is draped with a red veil, her hands dyed red with henna, and red bangles rolled into her wrists. She will then become a bride, like the old woman beside her whom who became one many years ago. She still has bangles on her wrist, but no light in her eyes. She still has bangles on her wrist, but no light in her eyes. Here are words, difficult words. Let me tell you the meaning of these difficult words. Dawn on her, that means she will realize. Dawn on her, that means she will realize. The meaning of this word, this phrase is that is dawn on her means she will realize. Drap it reverse word. Its meaning is covered. Drap it means covered. So here writer says that in this para, in these lines, the writer says that she thought that Savita would realize this when she would become a bride. Right? She would. She thought that Savita would realize this when she would become a bride. That day she would cover her head with a red colored veil, colored her hands with henna, and wear red colored bangles on her wrist. The elderly woman sitting next to Savita also became a bride many years ago. She was still wearing the glass bangles but had lost her eyesight now. Now again text. एक वक्त एक वक्त सर भर खाना भी नहीं खाया. एक वक्त सर भर खाना भी नहीं खाया. She says in a voice drained of joy. She has not enjoyed even one full meal in her entire lifetime. That's what has reaped. She has reaped. Her husband, an old man with a flowing beard, says, I know nothing except bangles. All I have done is make a house for the family to live in. In these lines, there are some two difficult words. Let me tell you the meaning of these two words. Sir. Sir means a unit of measuring quantity. SCR, sir, means a unit of measuring quantity. Repeat means received as a benefit. Repeat, received as a benefit. In these lines, writer says the or we can say the elderly woman complained that she had not eaten even a share of food. That means there is a unit of measuring quantity. The elderly woman complained that she had not eaten even a share of food. Share is a unit of measuring quantity. The woman wants to say that they were so poor that they cannot eat enough food. That is the benefit that she has received by adopting the profession of bangle making. The woman's husband has a flowing beard. He says that he does not know anything other than bangles making. All that he has been able to accomplish is to make a house for his family to live in. Now, next para, that is from this. Hearing him, one wonders if he has achieved. This text. Hearing him, one wonders if he has achieved what many have failed in their lifetime. He has a roof over his head. The writer wonders that probably the man has achieved something which many other people have not been able to achieve. At least he has been able to secure a shelter for his family. At least he has been able to secure a shelter for his family. The cry of not having money to do anything except to carry on the business of making bangles, not even enough to eat, rings in every home. The young men echo the lament of their elders. The young men echo the lament of their elders. Little has moved with time. It seems in Ferozabad years of mind-numbing toil have killed all initiative and the ability to dream. Here are some difficult words. Means rings. Rings means a sound which is repeated. Rings means a sound which is repeated. Echo means repeat. Lament means complaint. Lament means complaint. Mind means numbing or boring. Toil means physical hard work done to earn a living. Dear students, in these lines, writer says the problem was prevalent in all the homes which carried on the profession. This problem, it was prevalent in all the homes which carried on the profession. The profession was to make the bangles. They did not know anything else other than the bangle making, and it did not even provide them enough to eat. The young men who had entered the traditional profession also had the same complaint. With the passing time, there was no improvement in their condition, as they had been doing hard work for countless numbers of years. They do not have any ability to do something else or to dream of it. Why not? Why not organize yourselves to a cooperative cooperative, I ask a group of young men who have fallen into the viscous circle of middlemen who trapped their fathers and forefathers. If we had if we get organized, we are the ones who will be hauled up by the police, beaten and dragged to jail for doing something illegal. They say there is no leader among them, no one who could help them see things differently. See things differently. Their fathers are as tired as they are. Their fathers are as tired as they are. That says here are two words, difficult words. Now one word is viscous. Viscous means cruel. Viscous. Vicus. Vicus. It is vicus. Vicious. Let me correct it. It is vicious. Vicious means cruel. It is vicious. Vicious means cruel. Let me correct it again. Vicious. Vicious means cruel. Hauled up means dragged, taken away. In these lines, writer says that, or writer suggested to form a cooperative. The writer suggests them to form a cooperative. She talked to a group of young men to get out of the clutches of cruel middlemen who had trapped their elders. The man said, that if they dared to do something like that, they would be dragged and beaten up by the police and sent to jail. Their acts would be termed to be unlawful. The writer felt that they had no leader. They could not think of doing things differently. They all were so tired, the men and their fathers. Now text. Let me read the text. They talk endlessly in a spiral that moves up. They talk endlessly in a spiral that moves from poverty to apathy to greed and to injustice. Listening to them, I see two distinct words. I see two distinct worlds. One of the family caught in a web of poverty. One of the family caught in a web of poverty, burdened by the stigma of caste in which they are born. The other a vicious circle of sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politicians. Together they have imposed the baggage of the child that he cannot put down. Before he is aware, he accepts it is as naturally as his father. To do anything else would mean to dare. To do anything else mean to dare. Here are some words. One word is spiral, means here a never ending continuous process. Apathy here means a lack of concern. Greed means intense and selfish desire for something. Distinct means separate, different. Stigma means dishonor. Distinct means separate. Stigma means dishonor. Bureaucrats Bureaucrats means government officials. Imposed means forced upon. Baggage means burden. To dare means to do something courageous. These were some difficult words. इनकी meaning मैंने बताई. Now here it says that the men complained that it was a continuous process. Their poor condition led to lack of concern for their problems. This made them greedy and led to injustice. The writer envisioned that there were two separate worlds. One was of such families who were stuck in poverty and the pressure of doing the traditional professional according to the caste in which they were born. The other world is a never ending cycle of money money lenders, middlemen, policemen, lawkeepers, government officials, and politicians. Both of these worlds had forced the young boys to follow the family traditions. The young boys get into the profession and become a part of the vicious cycle even before they realized it. If they did anything else, it meant that they were challenging these two worlds. Now, the last para of this lesson. And daring is not part of his growing up. When I sense a flash of it in Mukesh, I am cheered. I want to become a motor mechanic, he repeats. He will go to a garage and learn, but the garage is a long way for his home. I will walk, he insists. Do you also dream of flying a plane? He is suddenly silent. No, he says, staring at the ground in his small murmur. There is there is an embarrassment that has not yet turned into regret. He is content to dream of cars that he sees hurtling down the streets of his town. Few aeroplanes fly over Ferozabad. This was last para. यहाँ पे एक word है that is hurtling down. That means moving around. The boy had been in these lines. The narrator says that the boys had not been reared up to be bold so that they could dare to go against the system. They were not so bold. There was no courage in the boys to go against the system. The writer was happy to sense the Mukesh had spark in him. He repeated that he would be a motor mechanic. He wanted to go to a garage and learn the job. The writer asked that as the garage was at a distance from his home, Mukesh insisted that he would walk up to it. She asked him if he dreamed of flying planes. The boy became silent and refused. He did not know about them as he did not know about planes. Not many planes flew over Ferozabad as he had only seen cars moving around in Ferozabad. His dreams were restricted up to them. Thank you very much.